Amazon FBA is a way for you to make money off one of the most popular e-commerce sites out there, Amazon. It's where you can sell a product on Amazon, and Amazon will store your product in warehouses across the US, and they will pick, pack, and ship your product, meaning that when a customer places an order, they will handle everything for you and make sure that that product gets to the customer. Sounds great, right? Well, I want to dive in a little deeper so that you know exactly what to expect with FBA and so that you could see what the hype is all about. If you're new to the channel, my name is Ariana and I am the owner of a business called Vino Cards. Vino Cards is essentially wine tasting flashcards and they come in a set of 50. I sell this on Amazon and I actually started it back in 2018 and have since then grown the business to a successful state on Amazon, and I was able to quit my 9-to-5 so that I could pursue my Amazon business full-time. If you're an Amazon shopper, then you already know that there are a lot of products on Amazon, but all these products are mostly sold by third-party sellers like myself, or if you're looking to start on Amazon yourself, it'll be sellers like you. Third-party sellers basically list their product on Amazon, and before they actually make a sale, they send an inventory to the Amazon warehouses. When a sale of your product is made, then Amazon fulfills it, meaning they take care of everything. That's where the term FBA comes from. FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, meaning that they pick, pack, and ship your product out whenever a purchase order comes through. So it's basically your hands off once you only send in inventory to Amazon. After that, everything else is handled by Amazon themselves. FBA is also how you can make anything that you want to sell on Amazon Prime eligible, meaning that customers get all of their deliveries within 2 days. That includes your product. That is the basic model of how FBA works, but now I want to explain how you can be one of these FBA sellers and make money off of Amazon FBA. The quick overview is that you find a product to sell, then you manufacture that product either in the US or abroad depending on what you need and prefer. Then you send in the product to the Amazon warehouses, and this is through your Amazon seller account. Now there are a few things you need to take care of before you can actually start selling your product, and that is to establish your business. So this could be either through a DBA or an LLC. There's different costs and different benefits to either one, and it does depend on the type of product you're selling. And then you pay the cost of selling on Amazon. There's a monthly cost, which is $39.99, and this is for the FBA section. There is an individual plan. I believe it's much cheaper than the $39.99, but again, if you want to be able to be Prime eligible, have that better experience for the customer, and also access to more perks on your Amazon listing, then you probably want to go with the FBA route, and that cost again is $39.99. There are a few other things to take into account as well, but I go in much more depth in a separate video that I'll link here for you guys to check out. And once you've done that quick overview of steps to sell on Amazon, you'll become an Amazon seller who has access to selling a product to millions upon millions of customers. The product will sell if you do it right, and I will dive into this deeper in just a minute, but the cool thing to remember and just to keep in mind is that there are over 33 million Prime customers, and that is a lot of people shopping on just one website that is incredibly popular. That is a huge market to tap into and a huge opportunity to reach millions of people across the world, not just in the US. I know when I first started with Amazon, I was incredibly confused, but even before Amazon, I wasn't sure how to find a product, how to sell it, how to manufacture it, any of that. But I will go into all of that in just a minute. And I'm sure at this point, you've probably seen how much money people are making off of Amazon. But keep in mind that it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Amazon is not that. It needs the work, it needs all of that preparation in order to make sure you have a successful business on there. And again, it doesn't mean that you're gonna make money overnight, but that being said, Amazon is still one of the biggest opportunities out there, so I definitely encourage you to at least give it some time and thought and see how it can benefit your life. The first thing to note is that there are 4 different business models to sell on Amazon FBA, but I only recommend one of them. That is private label, retail arbitrage, wholesale, and creating your own product. The way people used to sell on Amazon that worked really well was private label. This is where you slap your own branding, your own label on an already existing product and sell it online. But this method, along with retail arbitrage and wholesale, no longer work for Amazon, and that is because of 3 reasons. Oversaturation on the Amazon market, working with China, and some Amazon basics. What you should do instead is private label 2.0, or in other words, creating your own product, which includes a ton of benefits like needing almost no money to start. Plus, there's less competition because you're creating a unique product, something that's not already in existence, so it's going to give you a chance to wow customers. Or you can take an existing product but make it better. Make something that is even better than what the competition has to offer so that you can stand out amongst the other Amazon sellers. And this is exactly what I did. I created a product that did not exist, that there was nothing like it on Amazon. So now I'm a unique seller on Amazon, selling Vino cards, which is unique to my brand, and it is something that did not already exist. And to be honest, Amazon has already changed my life in so many ways, including being able to travel and work remotely and be able to work around the world because everything else is handled by Amazon. I don't have to handle any purchase orders other than sending in inventory, but I make sure to send in enough so that while I'm abroad, I don't have to worry about it. And that is something that you can achieve as well. The reason that no one is talking about this right now is because the people that are creating their own products are not on YouTube, they're not on Instagram, they're too busy out there making money from their successful Amazon businesses. So I wanted to come on here and let you guys know that this is a way to make money, that there is an opportunity to create your own product and be one of these successful Amazon business people. In my first year selling on Amazon, I made over $70,000 in revenue. But keep in mind that this is revenue, not profit. But even after subtracting all of my costs, I still made over $20,000 in passive income. If you'd like to know exactly what those costs were, I did a full breakdown of my numbers, how much I actually made the first year, and I'll link that video up here for you guys to check out. All of my success with Amazon so far all started with an idea, as well as creating a launch group. I started a Kickstarter to help fund my production run. Then I made that production run and sold on Amazon. They're pretty simple steps, but I want to go through each one of those so that you can see what that looks like. So the first thing you'll need is, of course, an idea for a product or a business that you want to start. Ideally, you'd want to create something that you're actually passionate about, but if you're unsure yet, just explore your daily activities, what you like to do, what other people maybe need in their lives that they haven't been able to find easily. Create an idea generator, brainstorm, journal, ask people, and start looking on Amazon and see if you find some products that you know you can make better, things of that nature. For Vino cards, I knew that I wanted to learn more about wine tasting. I was going on these wine tasting tours, but I'd forget everything I learned the next day. And so I wanted to retain that information in some way, and I know flashcards were an easy way for me to learn in school, so why not create that for something that I wanted to learn, like wine? And at the time, I wasn't able to find any wine tasting flashcards. It was mostly books or a course, like a video of some sort. I wanted something small, concise, and to the point so that I can reference anytime I wanted, and voila. Flashcards came to mind, and then Vino cards evolved. After I had my big idea, the next thing was to create a launch group, and I did this through Facebook. Now, this is the biggest opportunity I see beginners missing out on, and that is to create a community at the very start of your business idea. And this is important because with that Facebook launch group, I was able to add friends and family, but they were also able to share that, and I brought everyone along the journey with me. People love to see the conception of an idea and then the journey that that person takes on and to create a business that they want. So they like to root for you. They love to give feedback. People want to be part of that process. And having that launch group got everyone excited for when I created the next thing, which was my Kickstarter. With everyone in my launch group, I let them know that I needed to raise money to fund my first production run. And this is where I mentioned that you really don't need any money to start, because with this Kickstarter, it's essentially a crowdfunding site. And people will support your idea given that you are going to manufacture it and then present them with that idea. So I was able to fund my first production run. I raised over $5,000 on Kickstarter, and people from the launch group got so excited about it, they wanted to support me, and I was able to raise that money. So it was money I didn't have before, but with that $5,000, I was able to fund my first production run. Production can sound extremely overwhelming, and I totally get it, but it's actually not as hard as it seems. It's one of the easier steps, especially if you had a successful Kickstarter. You can fund that production run. The only thing you really have to think about about is that communication, where you're manufacturing, how much shipping costs will be, and then maybe how often you might have to do a production run so you can start thinking about cash flow. But production is the most important part. You want to have a physical product that you can send into the Amazon warehouses. So production is key, but don't worry, it's not as intense as it may seem. Some tips include looking at sites like Alibaba.com, so where you can search for different products on there, and usually all the manufacturing details are on that site for you, and along with emails and phone numbers of people you can contact, so that can be a good starting point for you. Or you can simply just Google different manufacturers and see what comes up. You might have to make several calls, send out several emails, but as long as you put in that work, I'm sure you'll find a manufacturer that's great for you. And then after those steps, you'll finally get to launch on Amazon. So you'll create that Amazon seller account that I mentioned earlier. You'll be able to send an inventory to Amazon, and essentially you have a listing on there and people will start finding it. You'll of course have to pay maybe for PPC, pay-per-click advertisement on Amazon, or maybe use social media to drive traffic to your Amazon listing. Whatever it is, the great thing is that you're taking advantage of a massive company that already does have millions of eyeballs looking at it every day. So it's very possible that your product will come up and people will see it. Of course, make sure that you're getting tons of reviews from the start so you can refer back to that launch group or people that supported your Kickstarter. Let them know that it's available on Amazon, and if they can leave a review, that's great. Amazon will reward you and push you up on the rankings so that your product becomes more visible to people throughout the days. Now, I made a really big mistake the first year of selling on Amazon, and I talk all about it, plus sharing my actual numbers on this YouTube video here. So go ahead and click that to learn about what I did and how you can avoid it yourself. Click the video here and I'll catch you in that one.